What have I gotten myself into this time? Hey guys, Team291 here as the Redstone Professor, and today we're going to be exploring around in a new world that I did, as well as looking at some new redstone, as well as a bit of an update on some old redstone stuff. So, we're out of the world that I was last time. I decided to go ahead and hop into the customization items and did Aver's Delight, I think, or something along those lines. And this is what came out of it. It was just really cool. I just had to mess around with this stuff. So, of course, you know, you have your basic stuff, like you have your paths, you're running around. I have a super long stairway that goes miles and miles up. I'll probably do that in another video, but like I said, though, I wanted to get into a bit of some redstone that I did here. So we'll go ahead and grab this little thing here, you know, lever. Of course, you might be wondering, well, what are you going to be doing with lever? Well, if you pay attention to the wood, we have a little bit of a mismatch here. So, you put on lever under that, flick that, and it opens up like that. Now then, I'm going to quickly close that. It looks really cool with what I've done here. So, flick it, and one after the other, these different blocks move out of the way to reveal the door. And of course, you open the door, and you know, we're in just a little bit of a building. You have this with some buttons, and you know, if you hit a button, and then it opens up a little secret compartment with a bed inside. Nice little stuff. And then, of course, in here is one of Mumbo's super smelters. So, for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about Mumbo Jumbo. He has a lot of really cool redstone designs, so I just wanted to go ahead and flick one of these things in. But basically, you can put these out to 15, and they just go ham on any items you'll throw in. So you can have nearly continuous inputted stacks of anything that you might need to smelt. So that's a really good thing to have. But the main contraption, though, that I'm referring to for this video is, of course, what I'm doing with this wall. So, and like I said, I also have a couple of updates on some other redstone that has happened. So I'm just going to go ahead and destroy this, and we'll hop on in over to the Redstone World, and we'll have a look at some of the stuff. Okay, so we're now in the Redstone World, but as you can see, we're stuck in this little bit of box. So if we hit this button here, and we just see this happen, and just be like, whoa, okay, what's going on here? Well, basically what we have going on here is nice little amount of redstone trickery, but it's easier to see in here with the 2N and all the lights that are going on that it's all sequential, one after the other. So, you know what, I'm actually going to keep these doors open, and I'll hit this button so you can watch them all close, because it's also really cool to watch them all close, one after the other, too. Just all close like that, and we'll close up the doors. So basically, this is what's going on here. It's a vast amount of redstone, in which case you might be wondering, is like, whoa, how in the world does this work? So I'm going to be taking you a bit step by step so we can see how this is going on. So when we hit our initial buttons, down over here, they activate this redstone line that runs into a monostable circuit that runs into this, hits this, which gives off a single, since because this only will give off a single tick, this pushes out but doesn't retract it, so that gives us our opening and closing motion in between the different redstone paths. And of course I have the same amount of ticks and delay set up on each one. I was trying to get the top layer to match with the bottom layer, however I was having a little bit of trouble with that, so if anybody has any advice on how I can modify this in order to be able to do that, then that'd be fine. But basically, we have two separate layers that are going set up so that none of the redstone interferes with one another. And what happens is basically you go along with a 1, and then this is set to 1 tick, so that gives you 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then after 5 is done, on the other end, we have it going where we have the redstone signal flicked back, goes through a repeater set to 4 ticks, and another repeater set to 1 tick, and that gives us our 6 after the 5, and then that flicks over to here, 2, which gives us 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, and so forth. And each and every time you pass them through one of these 5 ticks here, it places onto the next set of line, that'll be that will not interfere with this. So, and of course, since because we have it where the redstone's set up to here, it's actually able to take a redstone signal out of the block, and that works for both here and here. Just make sure that you do not have the redstone signal connect up to the redstone underneath, or else you will accidentally create a loop, and that is something that we do not want. Obviously, so it travels all down the line, and just goes in the sequential order for everything you're going to be doing. So that's the redstone signal I did, and if you're wondering how I got into the room, basically it's just simple iron trapdoors with pressure plates. So again, and they all flick open like that. I'm still trying to modify the design a bit so we get a look at what's going on. But obviously you can see I just took different block types so you'll be able to see it better. So we have stone, we have ordinary oak wood, and like different types of wood, different types of quartz, different kind of stuff that you can find on the end, and a ton of different types of hardened clay. But okay, I'll leave that open because it's really cool to watch it close too. And you're wondering why there's such a delay on there. It's just because I did a ton of repeaters one after the other. So if you want to create a nice amount of delay, that's something good to do. But obviously not this much. I did a little bit too much. And you can minimize it with your ticks by setting these to 4 ticks. Anyways, obviously, like I said, there's a bit of an update to stuff. So one of the updates that I'm referring to, of course, is the hidden staircase. So I just have a nice little light pattern over here. It's a nice little room. And as you know, previously I did the hidden 4 staircase, in which case now I have a bit of an update to that. So, of course, if we hop into here, just be able to hit the button, that'll fall up. But, of course, you see now I have a tripwire here, and you'll be like, okay, well, what is that? Walk through here, and it will light these up one after the other. So, nice, pretty cool. So, just go ahead and let those all turn off. Use that to open up the door, head on down, and then flick that. So, if you're wondering what's going on, then I'll just go ahead and just show you. So, the back end to this whole system is still the same. We still have the exact same setup as last time for the hidden 4 door. A little bit of a design change, and I'm getting the light pattern based on daylight sensors just pattern back one another between day mode and night mode. So depending on what time of day it is, will give you a different pattern on the inside, which I think is really cool, and you can set up really nice stuff for that. And then on the underside, I'll show you what's going on in a second. But basically, the only way I did the lights is we have the tripwire that goes, again, flicks into a monostable circuit that works alongside with these guys. That runs down over here into a redstone signal, which turns this off. And then we have just this simple redstone system. So basically, all we have is redstone dust on the corners, a block, and then a repeater on the other side set to 4 ticks, and that'll set a delay between all the lights going in sequential order, just none of them messing with one another. And of course, since because the powering goes into the block and through the block onto it, you can have anything connected to it. So of course, you throw some redstone lamps on there, it gets a really nice look. And of course, it has light that bleeds through it, both on the bottom and the top, via usage of half slabs. So that's how that room works, and that's how this room works. So now let's go ahead and look at the update to the bottom half. Now, and this is as condensed as I could get the bottom half. But basically, I saw on one of Mumbo's videos, he's all like, okay, let's see how condensed we can just go ahead and make this system. And I said, yeah, sure, okay. Maybe it could work, maybe it couldn't. And he ended up getting it into a 2x3, which is ridiculous. In fact, I actually think the button got destroyed. Oh no, it's still here. Okay. So what he did is he created a 2x3 double piston extender using observers. And I'm all like, okay, that's really cool. And it really makes it easy to get the system done for a double piston extender. So of course I wanted to do the idea is like, okay, well what if I was to take it one step further and have it be a double piston extender with a single piston that extended outward in order to make this system here. So, of course, this one over here was a bit of a rough draft of the idea. And then this, of course, was a much more condensed, finalized version of the idea, or as condensed as I could get it. So basically what happens is we have this button, you press it, flicks it all over, and you get these two positioned right here. Now then, unfortunately out of it, you don't get the look of the extension that you normally get with a double piston extender, because these will immediately retract, and it has to be a single circuit signal. So what that means is it has to be along the lines of a button or something, or a single tick on a monostable circuit for it to work. Anyway, from there, basically, yeah, it just goes into a monostable circuit, flicks this back and forth in order to send a signal around, which pushes out this piston here. That hits another observer, that hits this, that all sends because it changes the state of the observer, that pushes the block up. And then, of course, when we hit the button again, we could see it change, and it will pull the block back down. Now then, how this works is basically you have the signal go through here. The observer detects this repeater, which updates into this block, which will what pushes this. And then the repeater throws into this block, which holds on to the redstone dust. And that pushes it into this, which will push that up into the powered block from the observer, and that pushes up the other block. And of course, as it powers down in that same order, it gives the retraction. So that's just an update on that, on the four-way walkway. And one of the cool things that I actually enjoy about this is that we no longer have to have a stairway or a block down over here. If you watch my last video on that, is that if in order to pass the signal into the double piston extender, I ended up having to have a line of stairs, which was just super annoying. It didn't look good at all. But with this, we can just have it be an empty line and still have our hidden door and our 4 steps in order to walk up. So that, of course, took a while and was a different amount of things and ideas that were just all thrown together. And, of course, I do have another video planned for in the future. Well, you know what? Actually, I'll just go ahead and show you here. But basically, this was planned out originally as double piston extenders, and then I updated it recently to the same double piston extension system that we saw down over there. So basically, this is the double down secret passage, in which case I still have it on off. I still have it on. Basically, you just hit the button. Blocks fall down in a double piston extender fashion, and it just allows you and a buddy in order to drop down into a different area. So, other than that, I think that's everything that I can showcase here. I'll probably end up showing off this house here at some point, and maybe, you know, do a tour of the village. But, yeah. So we have the sequential double end door opener. We have an update to the 4 block hidden staircase, the double down friend system, and of course the sequence room walkway. Anyways, I believe that's everything that I needed to show and just do an update you on. So, if you've enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because, you know, that's something that everybody begs for. It's, you know, the simple thing that everyone says. I promise I will have some more interesting videos coming out soon. I am trying a couple of things IRL, and like I said, I will be doing an update video at some point. I'm not sure when, but I know it's not going to count for the video of the week. It's just going to be one of those things that gets done when it gets done, and I'll be able to tell you guys what's been going on with me and how my life has been going. Other than that, if you have been subscribed to the channel, or if you just subscribed, make sure to hit that little bell so you can be notified whenever the heck I upload another video. And, of course, let's not forget the Patreon pages. One, of course, is for the YouTube. The other is for the book that I'm writing. You don't have to go support them, but it helps me make a living and, you know, stay alive and continue to be able to make these videos. One, of course, directly supports the book, and the other directly supports the channel, so I can continue making these videos for you guys. And like that, I believe we're done here. So then, until next time, guys, this is Q9291.